And on the News Express, House of Representatives moved to extend time limit for prosecution of sexual offences. Police confirm 18 injured in Rivers gas explosion. RDB says Nigeria's Social Insurance Trust Fund to widen reach to informal economy. And on the first scene, United States President Joe Biden bans offshore drilling across coastal waters in the United States. And a sport transfer we know hit as Alex Meret extends Napoli stay, while Aston Villa hides Oscar Wingueza from the Celta Vigo. Hello and welcome to News Express here on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Dikan Michael. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, free to air and Nicomsat. We'll begin at the hour by informing that the House of Representatives is currently deliberating on a bill to extend the time limit for prosecuting sexual offences committed against girls under the age of 13. The bill, sponsored by Representative Bitrus Larry, a member of the People's Democratic Party representing Damse Anoma Federal Constituency in Adamawa State, passed its first reading and is aimed at amending Section 218 and 221 of the Criminal Code Act. According to the existing Section 218, any person who has unlawfully carnal knowledge of a girl under the age of 13 years is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for life, with or without caning, but Larry said that the time limit is inadequate. He noted that the 2-month period is not enough to gather the necessary evidence for a successful prosecution, adding that it gives offenders an escape route from facing justice if the case is not pursued within that time. Hence, he proposed in the bill the changing of the time limit to 2 years, giving authorities more time to collect evidence and prosecute offenders. The police force headquarters has said that its operatives of the intelligence response team have arrested one Ogaga Dixon, 35 years old, and a member of a notorious armed robbery syndicate responsible for the death of CSP Hassan Jega, the DPO divisions in Delta State. It will be recalled that DPO was killed on the 14th of October 2024 during a fierce gun battle between a team of police officers led by the deceased DPO and the assailant after the team of policemen had foiled one of their robbery operations. The Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa said that the operative had earlier stormed the gangs den and engaged them in a fierce gun duel, leading to the neutralization of 4 of the gang members. The Force PRO said that the operations are part of its effort to ensure the safety and security of all Nigerians by employing proactive, intelligence-driven strategies to combat crime, which have evolved improved strategies to combat the crimes and criminality in those regions. Around Gombe State Governor Mahamudu Yahaya has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to settling gratuity liabilities for the state retirees. Yahaya disclosed that the 17.2 billion naira out of the 21 billion naira inherited from the previous administrations have been cleared. Speaking at the presentation of the checks and payment of the backlog of gratuities to state retirees, Yahaya disclosed that his administration was committed to workers' welfare. And on to political matters, the National Chairman of All Progressive Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, alongside other stakeholders in the party, have called for unity from the members of the party in Kano State. Ganduje, who made the call during the 8th and 9th PC members Kano State House of Assembly Forum dinner, also urged the members to be united so as to wrest power from the incumbent New Nigerian People's Party administration in the state. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, is mired in controversy over the location of the compressed natural gas buses donated to tertiary institutions nationwide. A faction within the student body in the petition jointly signed by the Deputy Senate President Azuifa Usman from the Dangote University of Science and Technology, Wudu, Kano State, and the National Ex-Officio member Anderson Okweke from the Federal College of Land and Resources Technology in Owerri, Imo State, and the Vice President Special Duties Egbo John Paul, among others. Signatories accused the National President Lucky Omonefe and the Association Senate President Babatunde Afeez of bias in the distribution process. The faction also passed a vote of no confidence in the two leaders, calling on President Tinubu to intervene urgently to prevent a breakdown of law and order and safeguard his political integrity. Also in the news, the Lagos State government has disclosed that the enforcement of the ban on the single-use plastics will commence in the next 2 weeks. The Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tukumba Wahab, disclosed these while inspecting the flood-prone areas and all the ongoing projects, as well as the new ones at the Lagos Island and its environs. Wahab in December 2024 said that the ban on the usage of the styrofoam and the SUPs for packaging was banned, stating that enforcement will commence from January 2025 following the increasing prevalence of plastic waste and its negative on the environment in the recent years. On the education, the West African Examination Council WAEC has announced a new initiative which will allow students to resit their WAEC papers as early as January and February 2025. This marks a significant shift from the previous system where candidates had to wait for the next private exam cycle. Head of Public Affairs of the WAEC, John Kapi, disclosed this, explaining that the new program referred to as WSCC PC1 provide a faster route for students to improve their grades. According to him, to aid the candidates in the preparations, WAEC plans to expedite the release of Chief Examiner's report to provide detailed feedback on where students may have gone wrong and how they can better approach their studies and the examination process. Meanwhile, the University of Ilorin in Kwara State has said that it has introduced a system where unclaimed certificates could be collected through the courier service. The registrar of the university, Mansur Lamfana, speaking with newsmen in Ilorin, described the move as upgrading to international best practices. According to him, this move will allow prospective collectors to receive their certificates through the courier delivery. The registrar, in a memo dated December 18, advised all graduates of the university to collect their certificate before January 17, 2025, as graduates who failed to collect their certificate before the deadline will pay a fine of 3,000 naira per week before collection of the certificate. Elsewhere in the news, the Rivers State Police Command has confirmed that 18 people sustained severe injuries in a gas explosion that occurred in Orazi community of Port Harcourt. The incident, which happened on Sunday evening at a gas refilling shop, causing substantial damage to nearby buildings, is part of a series of gas and improvised explosive device incidents recorded in the state since 2024. The command spokesperson, SP Grace Iringo Kokeo, verified the incident during an interview, saying an explosion was caused by the welder repairing a refrigerator. Iringo, who added that the injured victims suffered varying degrees of burns and were promptly taken to the hospital where they are receiving treatment, confirmed that the police have launched a full investigation into the incident and will share their findings with the public. A civil society organization, the Movement for Anti-Corruption, Integrity and Transparency Initiative, has criticized former President Olusegun Obasanjo for his recent remarks about state-owned refineries and Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited. The group, in a statement signed by the National President Goodway Jackson and Secretary General Mohammed Kula, alleged that the former president's comments were driven by personal grievances stemming from the reversal of refinery privatization during his administration. They added that Obasanjo's persistent criticism of the state refineries was influenced by his failed attempt to privatize them before leaving office in 2007. Hence, they urged him to set aside personal grievances and contribute constructively to the nation's oil sector, emphasizing the need for support rather than undermine the state-owned enterprises. Watching the live broadcast of News Express here on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, where News Express returns. Former Central Bank of Nigeria Director urges federal government to reduce the cost of governance. We shall bring you those details as well as foreign, sports and business stories after this short break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us here on News Express. Around troops of 6th Division Nigerian Army have dismantled additional 20 illegal refining sites in the Niger Delta region and confiscated no fewer than 190,000 liters of stolen crude. This is coming barely 8 days after the troops in their continued onslaught against the oil theft in the region dismantled 20 illegal refining sites and confiscated 90,000 liters of stolen crude. Acting Deputy Director of 6th Division Army Public Relations, Lieutenant General Danjuma Jonah, in a statement issued in Port Harcourt, said that the operations were conducted between December 30, 2024 and January 5, 2025. Danjuma said that 11 suspected oil thieves were arrested, while 31 boats used for transporting the stolen product were destroyed during the operation. Now moving to business news, federal government has been urged to strategically reduce the cost of governance in 2025. A former director of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Tatus Okonumi, gave the advice in an interview in Ota Ogun, noting that the high cost of governance had led to the increased recurrent expenditure. The former director of research at the CBN said that the debt servicing by the federal government had consequently increased from the 9.8 trillion naira in 2023 to 12.1 trillion naira in 2024. He said that the federal government should only borrow for capital expenditure to facilitate repayments through the proceeds from projects. And now the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited may continue servicing its crude for loan obligations till 2029 as the demand for oil by domestic refineries increases. NNPCL debt burden arises from the several crude for loan agreements that have tied the volumes of countries' oil production to the various financial commitments. This is as the local demand for crude has continued to rise following the coming on stream of the Port Harcourt and Warri refineries alongside the mega $20 billion Dangote Petroleum refinery located in Lagos. In about the world of business, the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund has developed a comprehensive program for the integration of the informal sector into the employees' compensation scheme. The Managing Director, Olusegun Folese, confirmed these in a statement by the General Manager, Corporate Affairs, Nwachiku Ngige, saying that the fund will tap into the immense potential of the informal economy in broadening the access to its social safety nets in line with the poverty alleviation agenda of the federal government. He also said that the national economy will benefit greatly if artisans, traders, and other small service providers were brought into the safety net, noting that such a move would drive national productivity and combat poverty. Now, the world of international scene, United States President Joe Biden has banned offshore drilling across an immense area of the coastal waters weeks before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. Pledging to massively increase the fossil fuel production, the ban encompasses the entire Atlantic coast and the eastern Gulf of Mexico, as well as the Pacific coast of California, Oregon, and Washington, and a section of the Bering Sea of Alaska. A White House statement said that the declaration protected more than 625 billion acres and 353 million hectares of waters, adding that the ban does not have an end date and could be legally and politically tricky for Trump to overturn. And now Biden is taking action under the Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act of 1953, which gives the federal government authority over the exploitation of offshore resources. France former President Nicolas Sarkozy faces trial over alleged illegal financing of his 2007 presidential campaign by the government of late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. Sarkozy, who served as the France president from 2007 to 2012, will face charges of passive corruption, illegal campaign financing, concealment of embezzlement of public funds, and criminal association, punished by up to 10 years in prison, although he has denied any wrongdoing. His lawyer, Christopher, said in a statement that Sarkozy is looking forward to the hearings with determination. The trial involved 11 other defendants, including the 3 former ministers. Our media report has indicated that the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau may resign amid a growing dissent within his Liberal Party. According to report, sources within the Trudeau's party expect him to step down ahead of its National Caucus meeting on Wednesday. Trudeau's office declined to comment when contracted by the AFP regarding the report, but the report indicates that if Trudeau resigns, his party will be left without the leader just a month before the next legislative election scheduled for the end of October. Almost 1.5 million Germans backed a police union push to ban fireworks on the New Year's Eve after the latest celebrations were again marred by the death, injuries and arrests. Critics have long sought to end Germany's reckless use of the pyrotechnics to ring in the New Year, citing the safety concerns, but also in the air pollution and the traumatic effects on domestic path. This year, 5 people died across Germany in accidents linked to illegal and fireworks, including the powerful homemade devices, with many more people sustaining injuries. And more than 100 police officers were reported injured nationwide, including about 30 in the capital, Berlin, which is known for its especially intense use of rocket and firecrackers, and sometimes hammered law enforcement personnel. Right, the world of sport has the January transfer window remains open. European clubs are actively sourcing and finalizing deals just to strengthen their squad for the second half of the season. This as Napoli finalizes the goalkeeper plans as a club has settled its goalkeeper, signing a new contract that will elect Meret at the club until 2026, with an option to extend until 2027. While the Gabriel will leave Napoli immediately to join the Caligari, and Simon Scov has been identified as Napoli's new backup goalkeeper. Meanwhile, Aston Villa has reportedly initiated talks to secure the services of Oscar from Celta Vigo. The move is reportedly driven by the admiration of both Villa's board and the head coach Unai Emery. Manchester United defender Diogo Dalot has said that he was turned into action by Ruben Amorim's plea for his senior players to step up and help put the club out of the downward spiral. The Portugal international impressed during the United 2-2 draw with Premier League leaders and Liverpool on Sunday as he gave Trent Alexander a torrid time. Now, before the trip to Anfield, the United manager Amorim had urged the leaders in his squad to set up to help other guys who were sometimes afraid. Liverpool captain Virgil van has defended Trent Alexander-Arnold after his poor display against Manchester United, rejecting suggestion that the Real Madrid interest has had a negative impact on his teammate. Alexander-Arnold was at fault for Lisandro Arpana in the Sunday's 2-2 draw against Manchester United at Anfield. Now, falling well below his usual high standards, the right back's sloppy performance comes during the long-running debate about his future with the Premier League leaders. Our 26-year-old's contract expires at the end of the season, meaning he can now sign a pre-contract agreement with an overseas club. To end the News Express, here's a summary of our top stories. We have told you that the House of Representatives is currently deliberating on a bill to extend the time limit for prosecuting sexual offenses committed against girls under the age of 13. We also told you that Rivers State Police Command has confirmed that 18 people sustained severe injuries in a gas explosion that occurred in the Orezi community of Port Harcourt. In the world of business, we had updated that the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund has developed a comprehensive program for the integration of the informal sector into the employees' compensation scheme. And don't forget, from the foreign scene, United States President Joe Biden has banned offshore drilling across an immense area of coastal waters weeks before President-elect Donald Trump takes office, pledging to massively increase the fossil fuel production. And finally, in sport, we told you that as January transfer window remains open, European clubs are actively sourcing and finalizing deals to strengthen their squads for the second half of the season. And that's where we wrap it up here on News Express, coming to you live from the nation's capital. A reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Free to air and like site. Kindly follow us on all streaming platform at Global TV NG. On behalf of the entire production team, we say thank you for joining us on News Express. My name is Edikan Michael. See you again.